I don't know if you heard the story about, we covered it, about when they killed they killed 5 Al Jazeera journalists, one of the most prominent Al Jazeera journalists covering Gaza. When I mean killed them, I mean Israel targeted them and killed them. They were in a tent outside of a hospital, and they killed all of them. And so, but they were definitely targeting the one journalist. Now, I should have his name, but I don't. BBC presenter. So this is something Hotspot caught this. BBC presenter, newsreader, on Israel's killing of an entire Al Jazeera news crew in Gaza. And want to hear what she says?
As has been the issue throughout the war, there's the question of proportionality.
The question of proportionality.
Is it justified to kill 5 journalists when you are only targeting 1?
Is it okay to kill 5 journalists when you're only targeting? Isn't that like saying is it okay to kill 5 babies when you're just targeting 1 baby? You're not supposed to target journalists, but somehow this BBC presenter is like, it's not proportional. If they were just killing the 1, it's okay.
Yeah, it's not our precious Jamal Khashoggi, who is actually an intel guy.
Yeah. So I'll play that for you again.
As has been the issue throughout the war, there's the question of proportionality. Is it justified to kill 5 journalists when you are only targeting 1?
What? That seems crazy. How could that even come out of your mouth?
What was the answer?
The answer should be no. It's not okay.
Oh, I thought they'd do a Piers Morgan. Is it?
It's not okay to kill 1. But
isn't it?
So if you look up what is the international law regarding targeting journalists in war, international law provides specific protections for journalists during armed conflicts, primarily under international humanitarian law, IHL, which includes the Geneva Conventions and customary international law. Here's a concise overview. They have a protected status as civilians. Journalists engaged in professional duties in conflict zones are considered civilians under international humanitarian law, as long as they are not directly participating in hostilities. Okay. The status is affirmed by Article 79 of the Additional Protocol 1 in 1977 to the Geneva Conventions, which explicitly states that journalists are protected as civilians and must not be the object of attack. But they did target him. So they've been targeting journalists through this whole thing. It's not a war, by the way. This isn't a war, what's happening in Gaza. This is a genocide. That's like saying, oh, yeah, the Jews were at war with the Nazis at Auschwitz. They weren't at war.
Yeah, right.
There's a prohibition on targeting journalists. Deliberately targeting journalists is prohibited under the international humanitarian law. As civilians, journalists are protected from direct attacks unless they take a direct part in hostilities. This is support by customary, so they're protected. They're super protected, right? But the BBC helped kill. So this guy says the BBC helped kill Anas al-Sharif. That was his name, Anas al-Sharif. Its reporting will kill more journalists. Let us first note in passing the entirely false assumption here that Israel wished only to kill 1 journalist, al-Sharif. All the evidence is that in killing more than 200 Palestinian journalists in Gaza over the past 2 years, and by excluding all Western journalists from the enclave, Israel has been seeking to ensure its genocidal crimes go unreported. It is systematically killing those best placed to serve as witnesses. The all too obvious reason Israel wiped out the entire Al Jazeera press team at this moment is that the Israeli army is about to invade Gaza City, and commit yet more such atrocities. But let us dig a little deeper. If you aren't deeply shocked by the BBC, a so-called public broadcaster, thinking it suitable to air the comment that we just heard, all the more so after Israel has killed more journalists in Gaza than in all major Western wars over the past 150 years. Consider this. Imagine that Israel finally allows Western journalists into Gaza after blocking their entry for 2 years. A team of 5 familiar BBC faces covering the region set up shop in Gaza and work out of an improvised studio inside the enclave. Then news breaks that their studio has been hit by an Israeli strike and killed all 5 of them. And then he lists the 5 names.
Oh, don't make me hard.
Israel doesn't claim the strike was a mistake, but celebrates the killings. It says it has secret evidence that one of them, let's say John Donison, the BBC reporter, who made the observation above, was secretly recruited by Hamas military wing while it's in the enclave. Can we imagine the BBC or any other Western news organization framing the segment in the following terms? There's the question of proportionality. Is it justified to kill 5 BBC journalists when you were only targeting 1? We all know the answer. The coverage would rightly proceed from that fact that the Israel had killed 5 journalists, the latest in a procession of such media workers in violation of international law.
Wait, hold on. They do that all the time. They kill foreign journalists that are not Palestinian all the time, and the West doesn't make a big deal.
Nobody says it.
In fact, they can traffic our kids.
the tone would be one of utter indignation. If it was BBC, so if it was a BBC guy talking about BBC reporters being killed by Israel, the tone would be one of utter indignation. The framing, again, rightly would assume there could be no possible justification for such an attack on civilians. Israel's claim that Donison was working at the time in a military capacity for Hamas would be dismissed with complete contempt, unless Israel could produce firm evidence. Racist double standard. If you find yourself in any way recoiling from this comparison, how can the killing of John Donison, a BBC reporter, be equated with killing al-Sharif? Can I gently suggest that the power of killing of Israel and Western propaganda has been working its magic on you? Israel's assertion that the award-winning reporter al-Sharif was really a Hamas commander while doing a sideline in journalism for Al Jazeera is no less preposterous than the claim that Donison might be doing the same for the BBC. For one thing, reporting a genocide as al-Sharif had been doing, especially when hundreds of your colleagues have been picked off by Israeli one by one, is more than a full-time job. It's a way of life. Doubtless, though, I have less knowledge of such matters. It is the same serving as the commander. It is the same serving as the commander of the Hamas cell. An army of Israeli drones are spying on the enclave 24 hours a day from the Gaza skies. Someone identified by Israel as Hamas commander, or even a lowly official, would be under constant surveillance and forced to move in shadows, living underground as much of the time as possible. Similarly, every Palestinian's phone in Gaza is tapped by Unit 8200, and their calls stored on Microsoft servers. The idea that al-Sharif could throw in a few hours a day running a guerrilla operation under these conditions while popping up on camera every few minutes to report on the latest slaughter in Gaza is so insane no one, least of all major news organizations like the BBC, should be dignifying it with an ounce of credibility. After all, if Israel had really identified al-Sharif as a Hamas commander, it would have mountains of intel gathered by the surveillance machine. Instead, it has produced a few flimsy items of evidence that even I could rustle up in minutes using ChatGPT. Again, no one should be citing this as evidence, any more than they would do it if it were Donison being smeared. Doing so legitimizes the murder of journalists by Israel. That is exactly what the BBC and the rest of the Western media are doing. And they are doing it because the journalists being killed are Palestinian. They are doing it because they are racist propagandists for a system of Western colonial control in the Middle East. But you counter, isn't it a fact that al-Sharif had worked in a period before? So anyway, you get it.
Yeah.
You get the point. There's this crazy double standard, and the BBC would not be repeating the accusations that a reporter is Hamas if that reporter was BBC. But they will repeat the Israeli accusations that the reporter is Hamas if that reporter is Palestinian.
I think that's being too kind to the BBC.
You think that, James, you think that's being too kind to the BBC?
I think it's being too kind to the BBC, because remember when they killed those aid workers, the central worker kitchen thing?
Yes.
And they said, oh, that was an accident. Israel said these are international aid workers from Australia and all around the world. And they said, oh, yeah, that was an accident, right? And the BBC repeated that line, and then it figures, oh, it's actually not an accident because they fired on 3 different convoys. They fired one, and then they went back to the other one, and then they tried to rescue their colleagues. And then when they were trying to rescue their colleagues, they fired another missile, boom, right on that one. And then so they do repeat. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't even matter if they're Western aid workers, they will cover for Israel.
So you
no
think that you think the premise is wrong here? That if it was BBC reporters, they would still say that.
Absolutely. Even if it was BBC, they would find some way. Oh, that was not
because they're under the thumb of Israel.
Yeah.
Hey, remember BBC covered up for Jimmy Savile all those years, and no one was punished? So just the article, like every article's the same. They can't believe that the major news things are completely corrupt. Yeah, they're not real news. They're the propaganda wing of the New World Order, just like ours is. Like, of course, Israel's killed more Americans than Iran by a mile. Okay, they don't care if they kill you. Israel could blow up our soldiers if they want, and we're going to not talk about it.
That's right.
USS Liberty.
The USS Liberty.
All kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, 9/11. It takes a village to do that one, but they were in on it.
Wow. Okay. Well, I thought that was pretty stunning. What that BBC, even though it's still stunning to hear a BBC reporter say, "Is it okay to target 5 reporters if you're just to kill 5 of them if you're just targeting one?" It's not okay to target a reporter. That's the weirdest thing.
Why not? It's okay to jail a tweeter.
Wow. Anyway, okay. I want to ask James, you now, how did you get started doing what you do? So you do these amazing videos where you do deep dives on stuff and you expose corruption and all kinds of malfeasance by people in power, and so
terrorism against Israel.
What were you doing? That is terrorism against it. What were you doing before you started doing that?
I was a management consultant. I graduated from business school in 2018, NYU. Not a shout out to them, but it's just a fact. It's just a fact. And then I was doing management consulting. I was a supply chain specialist in big pharma.
Whoa. You sound like a Fed.
I mean, you can never know, but.
And so how did you stop doing that? Sounds pretty lucrative.
It was
very
lucrative.
You went on a date with James O'Keefe?
You ever been on a date with James O'Keefe?
Not that I know of. But
that was lucrative.
It was very lucrative,
And
but it was COVID that woke me up.
What do you mean?
So before that, I was traveling like 200 days a year because I was going to all these manufacturing sites around the world trying to optimize their inventory, whatever. And then COVID hit, and I was at home all the time. And then I had a bunch of free time, and then that's when I started digging into stuff. And at the beginning of COVID, I wasn't anywhere near. I don't think I'm even fully awake now, but I was very much of like, oh yes, we have to lock down. We have to mask up and be kind to each other and to do the vaccine and everything like that. And then it's slowly throughout that year, I'm like, I don't think they're telling the truth. And so I started digging into stuff, and then I just started posting things online, and then that's how I got started in this whole thing.
And that was that. And then, so you quit your job? Or are you still doing it?
I was still doing it up until 2023 when it became unviable to do both. I was telling Steph off camera, I was like, man, it's eating away my conscience. Because on one hand, I would be consulting for Big Pharma. On the other hand, I would be putting out these stories on YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, and I just couldn't square that anymore. And then I started speaking out at work.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
How'd they take that?
Not good. That's yeah. Because
what was the company? Can you tell us the company?
I'm technically under an NDA, but you can. I mean, you were highly encouraged to take a particular product from this big pharma giant.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's probably too much of a good way.
Yeah. Wow. So you're working for the biggies.
I was and now whatever. Fuck it. I'll tell the story since I'm here. So I was doing this report for them, and we were doing an inventory analysis of all of their biggest products. And one of their products was this particular one that we were all told that it was very, very important to take. And this was in like 2022. And we turned in this analysis, and we said, hey, you have hundreds of millions of dollars of this that's going to be sitting around at the end of the year, just projected. And then that's when the CEO then went on, news station and said, well, you guys, we got to do another round of this. And that's when I knew,
no kidding.
I think this is bullshit. And I was like, I'm done. I'm out. Because you tell me what that's all about.
So you found out, you told the company that you're going to have all this extra product meaning vaccine vials.
I can't say that's
but and then the CEO, someone whose last name rhymes with Horla,
yeah,
went on TV as a spokesman for a company that rhymes with Budweiser, and said we got to do another round of boosters for the COVID. And then you said, that's it, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so, did they give you a severance?
They did. So I spoke up and I said, hey man, I don't think it was on a different issue. And then
you spoke up about something?
I spoke up about something. It was not related to this, what we're talking about. And then I was very quickly removed from the project.
Really?
Within a few weeks. And I had been working on this project for a number of years.
Oh, wow. Well, they don't mess around.
No. And then I was assigned to a different thing. And then within 4 or 5 weeks of doing that, they said, yeah, I think this is not a good fit for you because you're doing too many typos and things like that. Literally on there. It was like, oh, too many typos. And I'm like, I guess at that point, because the partner of the project called me in one-on-one meeting. He was a very nice guy. And he was like, hey, James, in 5 years, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I was like, not here. And I was just so on. I was like, not here. And then that's when I got the boot out the door. But I did get a good severance out of it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so you started making videos for, was it TikTok or Instagram?
I started on YouTube doing videos, and then I moved over to like TikTok when it was booming during COVID. And then more recently on Instagram, and then I got on X. So I'm everywhere now, but it was through that. And
so you were able to make a living doing those kind of videos?
Not until probably this year, I would say. Before then, I had a side job going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Is it a secret?
It's not really a secret. No,
okay.
It was my family business.
All right.
Yeah. So then I was helping my mom out on the side, and I said, hey, I'm going to try to do this work, by the way. I just need some money to sustain, because I didn't want to take money from like, the Ukrainian media company or whatever. I don't want to do I had no sponsorships, nothing like that, just because that's not why I got in the game. I didn't get in the game to make money, because like I said, the consulting gig was quite nice.
Lucrative.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I didn't know you can make money off Instagram, TikTok, and
well, TikTok with the fund, right? Because you said you almost got monetized,
mm-hmm.
and for a while there, it was really nice, and then the censorship thing came in, and then they just killed it, and so now it's like more and more difficult
mm-hmm.
to do so, but it's still there. And then YouTube, obviously, through that monetization. So I've been just basically scraping together. And I also contribute to Breaking Points, which I think you're
it's a great show,
familiar with.
A great show. If you want to get something wrong, That's it. If you want to get the wrong,
Not being a purist nihilist.
if you want to get the wrong information about COVID, because they were 100% wrong about COVID.
Were they? I didn't think they were.
No, they're
because
telling
had
people that you can. They told you to take the vaccine. They told you don't question it. Just do it. Take it. They were all for lockdowns. And then we find out that Crystal's got a company that her and her husband are making money selling homeschooling stuff as she advocates for lockdown. And
But they had Sagar on the other side who's countering that, right?
Yeah, I bet he looks like he's trapped every time I see him talking to one of these people. He looks like he's trapped.
And then they
he
got
looks
the,
like
and they-
Sad Robbie on the hill with that Irish guy with the chipmunk teeth.
and they were pro Ukrainian war.
No, I don't think they were.
Oh, they were
Oh,
not
yes.
now anymore, but first they were for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, for
2
sure.
years,
They
because
fell for it
yeah.
again. They repeated CIA talking points again. Come on.
Yeah.
And then they also made fun of they repeated the propaganda from the CIA about Julian Assange, pooping in his at the embassy and how they don't want him there anymore because he's filthy. You remember that bullshit story they put out? They repeated that and laughed about it.
And then they got their heads straight.
And then,
they-
anyway, they're great. They do
No,
great
all
work.
these people are coming.
Hey, all
around
I know
now.
is that they allow me to submit pieces without reviewing it. I just say, hey, I just email the
No, it's
producer and I
great.
say, hey,
It's great.
I
It's
got
a great
piece
place
for
to
you.
work. It's
Boom.
great. It's great.
And there's
They do
full
good.
editorial freedom for me. So
Hey, say what's
I'm
up to
grateful for
Sagar.
them.
Say what's up to Sagar. Just Sagar.
Well, Sagar is the one who hired me. So
Okay.
Yeah, I bet he was. I bet he's trapped there for some reason, dude. If I had to make an educated guess, if for some reason there's some contract or something where he can't go. 'Cause
well,
I can
sometimes
see
people like a good debate. You know what I mean? I think you don't want to be in an echo chamber, right, Kurt?
No, but you know what? It's funny. I'm like, I'm a clown, a birthday clown for a living, so I don't ever have to worry about blurting out the truth and making it like I never have to do this. Is that the hill you want to die on? You know how people say that?
Yeah.
Well, kill me on the hill, motherfucker. Well, I don't give a shit. I got another job.
Well,
I
they were
don't
at the
wanna have a
hill before. Speaking of the
relationship
hill,
with
they were
power.
on the hill, at the hill.
Yeah, I know. And
Remember
the show was better
Crystal
when they're at the hill.
talking about vaccine with RFK? How
Yeah, remember how she had
shameful
that interview with RFK and how she was just repeating complete bullshit propaganda from Big Pharma? You don't remember that?
I remember that one. Yeah.
Okay, you remember that
That
one.
was
That one.
Yeah, that was
really
bad.
bad.
that was
That was bad.
Well, she go, hey, I know I'm wrong now. Anybody that says that, such as Tucker Carlson.
Such as Tucker
I'm
Carlson.
ashamed of what I used to say. Well, all right. If you're saying something that's not wrong, then I'm with you. But if you don't apologize and you act like you were always on that, then I kind of judge you for it,
It's hard. I mean, they allowed me to put whatever I want on there, so that's
Good for you. At least they're paying you, right?
they're paying me a little bit.
Nice. Look at that. I'm glad someone's paying you. All right. Everybody check out James Lee's work. You can check out his new show, Today-ish.
Today-ish, you can follow me there on YouTube, as well as 5149 James Lee everywhere. TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Don't go to TikTok because fuck TikTok.
Yeah.
but yeah,
Fuck TikTok.
yeah. I'm done with them.
Yeah, they're done with me.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to
never
get
got
you. I'm gonna try to
started.
get you restored. But if you're doing,
If you can get me restored, I'll pay you.
okay, that's
about
a deal.
All right.
Maybe I have to review what you said because what happens is like they'll go in and they'll pull up transcript of everything you've ever said.
Okay.
This is what I heard the review and it's like, oh wow. But depending, I don't know what you've been saying.
You heard the shit I
Yeah,
say.
yeah.
You know what I say. Yeah.
We have another.
Yeah.
You
I'm
have
one of these
another
guys who's too much of a
active
purist and a nihilist, as the great Crystal Ball once
Yeah,
mentioned.
give me the handle of the original,
Yeah.
the OG.
Somebody sent me a video. Crystal refers to me as a purist and a nihilist. So that's nice. I'll take it.
Because
Purist
she don't
means
know what nihilist means, Jimmy. She thinks it's the thing from Big Lebowski.
she thinks it's
which we don't care
yeah.
about
But
nothing. That's not what that means, Chris.
That's not what it means. It's not what a nihilist is. Of course,
A
she doesn't
moral
know.
purist, unbelievable.
She has to try to find a derogatory term for people who won't support the democratic evilness. And of course, she's all her and Malibu Kyle are always going to tell
You
you.
guys used to be like good buddies, huh?
We used to be friendly.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we were good buddies, but we were friendly. And until he stuck
I mean,
a
he
shit
really
in me.
turned his message around fairly quickly from what he used to say.
Yeah,
I mean, there's plenty of Kyle versus Kyle videos out
Yeah,
there.
yeah. Have you seen those Kyle versus
I've
Kyle
seen
videos? Those are. I don't know how you could show your face in public after somebody does a video about you like that. That's unbelievable.
Was Crystal his first girlfriend or something? This guy is whipped. Kyle, time for your bath.
Well, there was that one video many years ago of Kyle
Calling her
making-
stupid.
Yeah, because when she was on MSNBC.
Yeah. And there's Kyle calling, "Oh, you're so stupid," he's saying. So that's funny. But anyway, I'll take the purist if it means I don't sheep herd people back into a pro-war, anti-worker party, which is what Crystal Ball and Kyle do. Yeah. But anyway, I'm glad you have a job. And what I like is that whenever you post something over there, I can immediately use it. So it's like they're paying you for nothing. It's not exclusive. So whenever they post or you post or anybody posts something via their, I can just use it immediately, and they can't do anything about it. And so yeah,
I'm fine with that. I'm fine with it. It's not a zero-sum game out here. You use the stuff. Get the message out
All
there.
right.
I am.
was going to call you a nihilist if you weren't fine with it.
yeah, okay.
And that's
All right.
bad. Is that bad? That's not bad.
I guess I have to look it up.
Anyway, it's great to have you and it's great to meet you. And thanks for
thanks for
coming
having me
in.
on, Jimmy. Appreciate it.
James Lee does great work, I can say. I've never seen James Lee do work that I thought was bad.
Me too. Me too. He's done some great work. All right, that's it for today. Steph has some more stuff. We're going to finish our Rumble rants and say
I
goodbye.
gotta go to dinner.
And Kurt's going to dinner. We'll talk to you later, Kurt.
All right, later, guys.
Bye,
Later,
buddy.
James, later, Steph.
Appreciate y'all.
Great, James Lee.
Thank you for
James
having me.
Lee in
Dude.
studio today. Very nice.
You guys are real pros at this, man.
Thank you very much. Jimmy, will you and James Lee take a photo outside for me before he takes off?
We're not on a car.
Right, where it's just me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if you wanted to go.
I'll do it. I'll do it. Yeah.
I would love a
I'll
photo
let
as
them.
well.
I'll let them make that. Oh,
Appreciate
James,
it.
it was
Yeah,
fantastic,
good to meet
buddy.
you guys.
Such a pleasure.
Yeah.
All right, we'll see you soon.
Sounds good. It's crazy when you've been watching people for years and then you're like,
I know I feel the same way. I love your
So
work.
fun,
I
yeah.
love it. See you soon, buddy. James Lee. Was he great? I was just showing his content to my mom yesterday. He did this, he had this great segment where he was talking about the fundraiser that they did for the Pacific Palisades in Altadena and what a fraud it is. And none of that money has connected with any of the people in need. And then the other article that he did, the other segment that he did, oh shit, it'll come to me. Oh, it was so good. Oh, again, the Pacific Palisades. It had to do with a few days prior to the big fire in the Palisades. Was it January 1st that there was a fire in that exact area? Check out his work. It is so engaging. It's so well researched. He's just a talented broadcaster. So happy he was in studio today. Really exciting. All right, let's see here. What do we have? Where'd the money go? The money went to all these nonprofit organizations. The strange thing, you just have to check out his work. It's so detailed and so precise. It's so upsetting at the same time. All right, let's see here. A kid at heart. I love being in an echo chamber. An echo chamber of truth like this show. It's my safe place away from the echo chamber of psyops and evil plans and the globalist broadcast on captured legacy media. Thank you for that, a kid at heart. So impressive. All right, let's see here. I just have a few to read, and then we'll be back on Monday. 3 blind KKES. Jimmy, baby, take another day off. Let the Chinamen and Kirpus run the show one time. Maybe you will see that in the future. That's how they fooled the so-called intellectuals. They set a false premise, then let logic take its course. Sparky, 3 blind, thank you. All right, I'm almost done. Kurt, I think you mean Laura Ingram, not Ann Coulter. Oh, really? Sparky. Mom Donnie is from Uganda. Idi Amin is from Uganda. Coincidence? Sparky. Did they lure these children through Roblox? Vienticus Prime. Sandra, thank you so much, Sandra. An American organization that tracks pedophiles called Jewish Community Watch try to arrest the pedo fucks that exploit Israel's law of return, which grants anyone citizenship to Israel. Titan. The Awan brothers who shot Seth Rich conveniently returned to Pakistan shortly after their patron, Debbie Wasserman Schultz, was forced to step down as DNC chair for ordering the hit. Sparky. Ladies and gentlemen, we got to as many as we could. We did the best we could. Hold on, let me look at this. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. Oh, let me see what, hold on, let me see what I got. Does this work? Oh, there it goes. Oh, yeah. Let's end with that one today. I'll do this. Always remember, I'm better than you. All right. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.